With the neurolinguistic programming, you can figure out what somebody's made of and what's going on inside them just by shaking their hand and looking in their eyes. And always remember this, you might want to write this down. The more relaxed you are, the smarter you are. And in the acting business, like no other business that I've dealt with people, when I've had to professionally work with many people in this industry, at all facets of it, beginners and people that are household names, the biggest challenge they have is knowing who they are. You got to be on par with these people. You have to think like they do. They have to think like you do. They have to get who you are. If they don't get who you are, then move on. So many people are hung up on getting an agency that's really famous. And our good friend Jim Jarrett can tell you about that and how effective they are because they rest on their laurels. Sometimes it's the little guy who's starting out that's really hungry and really believes in you that's going to get the job done for you and get you work. If you're in the acting business to communicate and to reach people and to reach their hearts and to change people's lives, you're in the right business. You're a master communicator. And the greatest presupposition of NLP is one called requisite variety. And requisite variety is all of you have the tools necessary in your lives right now to do everything that you want to do. However, some of you have just not discovered them yet. So I just had a meeting last week with one of the biggest names in entertainment. He's been huge. He asked me, he says, Gary, he says, I can't remember why I'm doing this. Well, guess what? He hasn't done a movie for a while. He hasn't been hired to do a few things because he doesn't know who he is. So what my suggestion to him was he has to start reinventing himself. He has to change the rules in the way he plays this game. This is your life. And I can guarantee you, if you've given up on your dreams, or if somebody's talking you into quitting, if somebody is telling you that you can't do what you know you can do, then that person's not your friend. And one of the hardest things I do is say, well, then you're going to have to move away from your family and find people who believe in you. I believe that if you're in an out-of-par relationship, whether it's a girlfriend, boyfriend, manager, or an agent, if you're in an out-of-par relationship, it's not going to work. Those of you who have a great attitude, great. Can you improve upon it? Yes. Have you ever had a day when you woke up and you just wanted to slit your wrists? Yes. Yeah, what do you do about that?
Get out of bed.
Get out of bed and decide not to. Exactly. That's the first thing. And then you look yourself in the mirror and you start saying, you know what, I love you. I like you. I get you. I know who you are. I believe in you. We're going to let this dream work. We're going to allow it to happen. Did you hear the word I used? We're going to allow it to happen. How many of you are pushing and pushing and forcing? Yes. Let's allow it. Let's use that energy to listen. Let's use that energy to be taught. Let's use that resistance to allow it to come to you and you be ready when it does. One of the best things I've ever told any entertainers and actors who are household words, who really are in the public eye, like the gentleman that's going to be here next week or the next meeting, is you be careful because somebody's watching you and you never know where your next job is coming from. And if you're walking around being an antagonist, criticizing people, say, well, you know, you should have said this and you said that, and butting all over and shooting all over and canting all over and needing and don'ting all over, you're going to create a vibration between you and that person of antagonism. And they're going to be uncomfortable around you. And you know something magical is? Most people want to be around people who make them feel good. That's profound, isn't it? I can't wait to make my first $1 million. Really, what are you going to do with it? Oh, I'm just going to buy clothes, shoes. Really? That's meaningful. We have people starving to death. When you have the power as a communicator and an actor to go out and make a difference and stand in front of people and raise money for people who don't have any. So I'm asking you, I want you to make a difference. I don't think you'd be in this room unless you had the capability of doing that. I don't think anybody would be in this room right now. You know, I'm certainly not the star of the show here. What the star of the show is you and what you're going to do with this information. And all I have to say is the person walking in, oh, Molly, man, you look like you're not feeling good today. That's it. That's all I'd have to say. And by noon, they go, you know what, I'm really not feeling very good. I'm going to go home. Psychosomatic. 78% of what goes into a physician's office is psychosomatic illness. You know what that means? You're talking yourself into it. Most failures are self-induced. Feel the fear, sit where it's uncomfortable, and all of a sudden it's like sitting in a cold bath. It starts getting warmer. Yeah, your toes are numb, but you're still alive. And pretty soon, you don't feel it anymore. the sphere of your ability expands. And you get better and better at dealing with the incongruities of your life. However, if you're one of these people that you have a sniffle and you stay home, you're training yourself now for failure. The message is, you become what you think about the most. I become what I think about the most, and when I start thinking about what I want rather than what I don't want, things start happening.